Good early afternoon. Hello, I'm Andy Andrews, and you have joined us live here for the Blue Plate Special in Orange Beach, Alabama at the Wharf. We're here at the fabulous Wharf. This great shopping area has marlin statues, these unbelievable stainless steel life-size marlin statues, as well as, of course, you know, the elevator and escalator statues. The escalator statues are everywhere, but there's only an elevator statue in our building. But you can take your picture on them, and they look real. It's just amazing, the sculpting job that was done there. So just another wonderful thing to visit when you're in Orange Beach and get your picture taken and send it to somebody and say, wish you were here. If you are joining us for the first time, if you're on Facebook, press that notification button, okay? And make sure you turn the notifications on your telephone so that when we go live here for anything, you will be notified. And if you are with us on YouTube, also just press that subscription button. Hey, Chris Comer, do you like my shirt? You like the shirt? This is the new Sugarcane Jane shirt. Now, the music you just heard, if you're new to us, the music you just heard was Sugarcane Jane. They wrote that and performed that. And so this is actually not only their new t-shirt, it's a new album cover. So, Jeff Herring, hey, Bonnie Nix, how are you? Beverly Newsom from Washington State, Margaret Davis. You missed it. Yeah, you know what? I miss being with you guys Thursday, too. We had some stuff come up, and we had to take care of Linda Rogers Coleman, hello from Texas. Kim Petracchi, you are the best. Wait, who's that? Back. There we go. Oh, Sandra Minonica from Searcy, Arkansas, home of Harding State University, where they actually ate their mascot. Jeanette McNeil Groves Proctor here in Arlington, Texas. Kevin Perkins is here. Hey, old man, how are you? Hey, old man, listen, while we're starting, also hi to the Twitter people and Instagram people, but since I have Kevin Perkins on here, Kevin is like the greatest turkey hunter in the world, probably. And I know you probably have your favorite turkey hunter, but Kevin is our favorite. And Kevin makes custom calls, First Light Outdoors. It's just unbelievable stuff. But Kevin, I would be curious if anybody has any information on what to do about bull gnats. Anybody? Jim Medall, how about you from Grand Rapids, Michigan? Do you guys know what bull gnats are? Turkey hunters in South Alabama, and I'm assuming maybe South Mississippi, South Georgia. I don't know, but I didn't grow up with these things. I don't know where they came from, but about 12 years ago, all of a sudden, they're right during turkey season. There's like about 4 or 5 weeks, and they're gnats. And we call them bull gnats, okay? And you can see them. Hey, Bob Woodall, how are you doing? Bob, do you guys have bull gnats in Dothan? Gene McDonald, how are you doing? I know you guys don't have bull gnats up in Nashville. But I was just wondering, over in Dothan, do you guys have bull gnats? These things, they're about that long. They're kind of whitish. And they hurt. They hurt when they bite you. And nobody can find anything that keeps them away. I'm telling you, if you wear... Matt, where's Austin?
Austin, I think your dad wants you.
I saw Austin back there. Can you come here a sec? Wait, here, come down. Get right down here. I got a question I want to ask you on the air. Say hey to Ricky Birch. Woohoo. Here, kneel down, just so you'll be... How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good.
Okay. I was just telling him, I saw, old man, Uncle Kevin is on. And I happened to think, you know how my mind works. I thought Uncle Kevin. Then I thought hunting. Then I thought turkey hunting. Then I thought with turkey hunting led me to bull gnats, and
Right.
so now I'm talking about bull gnats.
Right.
And so, what would you explain it? Just tell them what a bull gnat is, because Austin has his whole life he's had to deal with them. They're new to me.
It's like if you took a normal gnat and gave him steroids and told him to bite everything he could.
Excuse me. Excuse me, a gnat got in my throat.
Yeah.
While I clear my throat, tell them what works on them. Hang on, I really do have to cough. So
Okay.
I'm just going to cough right over here.
All right.
Here, Sarah, and tell them what you can do about gnats. There's nothing. Tell them. Tell them how bad they hurt. Tell them.
There's not much you can do for him. There's this stuff called Absorbing Junior that helps, but that's about it.
Thank you. I've got my breath back. Don't they hurt?
They hurt. They hurt.
And they swarm like crazy.
They sent Uncle Joe into the hospital.
That's true. That's true.
See y'all.
Take care. Yeah. When they first kind of started showing up, Uncle Joe went to sleep, and they bit him all over his head. I had to go to the hospital. So, but these things hurt, and man, DEET doesn't work. And people come out with all this kind of, this gnat stuff. This works. This will work on bull gnats. This will work on bull. It doesn't. Martin Simmons says plenty of bull gnats in North Santa Rosa County, Florida. Yeah, okay. Around the bulls and cows. Well, I didn't know that, but they hurt. And Austin's right. I saw on a thread one day somebody said something about Absorbing Junior, and I'm like, wow, they still make that. And so I went and got some. And you have to put it on about every 10 minutes. You have to just drench yourself, and you walk around smelling kind of like, like a Bengay monster or something. But, yeah, Kevin's right. He said anything uncovered gets a visit. Today we're going to talk about the lies your mama told you. And I know you're saying, well, my mama didn't lie to me. Oh, yes, she did. Yes, she did. She told you so many lies. And I have compiled just a list. I just went and talked to a bunch of people, and I didn't have to talk to many people to get a long list. But I just thought we would go over some of the lies your mama told you. And also, if you have some, send them our way, and I'll relate them to everybody. And while I'm talking, don't make that face at me, because you make that face, it'll stick that way. Remember that? It was a lie. It's a lie. How long were we told if you swim right after you eat, you'll get cramps and you'll drown? I was always staring at my mother when she didn't know that I was staring at her, because I could never, I guess the hair, I always thought the hair was covering the eyes in the back of her head, because that's what she told me. She had eyes in the back of her head. Sandra Mirabelli says, we all lie to our children. Yeah, I know. Did you ever hear a little birdie followed me around, and he flew back and he told me what you're doing? I have a little birdie, and he follows you around, and he tells me, oh, God. And my mother would always say, I can see when you're not telling the truth. I can tell. I can see it in your eyes. And I'm like, how can you see it in my eyes? And she said, your eyes turn red. You lie. Kevin Perkins said, your mother told you would need a barber the rest of your life. That was a lie. You were losing your hair in high school. I mean, why do you think we call him old man? I mean, literally, a receding hairline in the 10th grade. Glenda Vandiver says that her mom would say, if you cross your eyes, they might stay crossed. Yep. Kimberly Barnes Brewer says, and I had somebody else tell me this. So this is very weird that, because this one I did not hear, that if you play with fire, you will wet the bed. Now, we have a whole bunch of people in the studio today. Give me, on some of these odd ones, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you've ever heard it. Have you ever heard that? If you play with fire, you wet the bed? I mean, I'm thinking if you play with fire, you might need to wet the bed, but that's all Sandra Mirabelli says, I'm going to take you home, and if you don't stop acting up, yeah. And, well, all the things that we were told, yeah. And she says, all my children are still alive. Yeah, I know. It's amazing. I'm going to kill you, right? Yeah. Let's see. Cookie says her dad told her that Renfro, a fox, patrolled the neighborhood and reported to the parents what the kids were doing. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how much we hear. Okay, keep rolling, Matt. It's amazing what we hear. How about this? Bread crust lies. Remember how many lies were around bread crust? That's where all the vitamins are. In the bread crust, in the crust of the bread. Eat your crust. That's where all the vitamins. As if the vitamins could somehow migrate outward during the baking process. Bread crust will make your hair curly. You've heard that? Got 3 people who have heard it. Bread crust will make hair grow on your chest. You heard that? Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I was always told that was broccoli.
I was told it was broccoli.
That was my lie.
I think it's the whatever you don't like. And let me ask you this, Matt. Do you have hair on your chest?
Oh yeah.
You do?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't. But I always thought, grass doesn't grow on a playground. That's what I always thought. But my dad would say that about a lot of stuff. Say, here, eat this. And make hair grow on your chest. And then my dad didn't have hair on his chest, so I'm thinking, what you're talking about. Oh, the bread crust thing. Here's one. Starving people in India would give anything to have that bread crust. Really? They'd give anything. Anything, just to have that bread crust. Here's one. Somebody told me that they heard eating the end pieces of the bread would make your teeth whiter. I mean, we're seeing a pattern here, right? I mean, there's a pattern because parents, they're trying to direct their kids with some, just do it, I love this. A Hispanic friend, and he said that his mother told him that white bread was for white people, and that's why she always bought wheat bread because they were brown. Now, I heard this, and a lot of people have evidently heard this one. Put salt on a bird's tail, and he won't be able to fly, and then you can catch him. He'll be still. You can catch him, and he'll be your pet. Now, I'm just seeing that, right? It's like, here, you guys take a salt shaker, go outside. Get out of the house. Here's a salt shaker for both of you. Hey, where did your parents tell you that babies came from? Do you remember them telling you anything? I had several answers. People said that God comes from God, a stork. This was weird to me. Somebody's mother told them the tooth fairy brought babies.
That's weird. That's weird.
That is kind of weird. It's like, I mean, can you imagine? Tooth under your pillow.
Your baby teeth turn into a baby.
You're expecting a quarter. And you're like, ah! It's the kid. Let's see. And this was also very odd to me. One girl said her mother said that babies came from your armpit. Now, let me just tell you this quick story. Because this is like a family legend. You know how Polly and I, it's like family legend, it's like a legend to Polly and me. But you know how if you watch little kids, there's always some little kid that he's the one that everybody looks to. You know, that's the one that's supposed to be the smart one, the boss or whatever. Oh, Lord. Dolores Lomas says that her mother told her that kids were picked up on the curve. So here's Polly now. I forget where we were, but we were at some resort, and we were out at the pool, and I was trying to stay still. Polly can lay in the sun. I have a hard time just like laying there. But we were just laying there, and we were backed up to the hot tub at this resort. And there were kids in this hot tub. And so we're hearing everything they're saying, but they can't even see us because, you know, the backs of the seats there. So I guess as far as they're concerned, nobody was even there. But we're hearing everything they're saying. And these boys, they were all boys. And it was probably 5 or 6 boys. And they were like 8 years old, 7 or 8, okay? And one of them said, my mom is going to have a baby. And somebody else said, my mom already had a baby. And another one said, we were all babies one time. And then, you know, it's a little talking. And then one of them says, well, where do babies come from? And one of the other ones said, God. And another said, from your mother. And then he said, no, I mean, like, you see their stomachs. And so, like, where do they come out of? And, of course, Polly and I are listening real closely. He said, where do they come out of? And the smart kid says, from their butt, you dumbass. Where do you think they come out of? We have laughed about that. I mean, that guy's probably 30 years old, you know, or probably 37. And but we have laughed about that ever since. Okay, here's one. And you guys feel free to send your parents' lies in. This is the day we're going to out our parents online. And I've heard this before. But your freckles can be removed by rubbing cucumbers on them. You ever heard that? Now, see, I think, wouldn't that have been a good one? Like, I mean, when somebody's parents were telling them that, there were no cell phone video cameras. I mean, wouldn't you love to tell a kid that and just like watch them? Is it gone yet? If you don't wear socks with tennis shoes, your toes will rot off. I like this one. If somebody unscrews your belly button, your legs will fall off. Now, we got this in the lies Mama told you category, but I'm thinking this had to be somebody's. I don't even think it's somebody's dad. I think it was somebody's uncle. Okay. You get canker sores if you pee off a bridge. Oh my God. All right. A pregnant woman never covers her belly button because if she does, the baby can't breathe. Now this one was really weird to me because I heard this from 3 different people, and I'd never heard this in my life. Never sew on a Sunday, because if you do, the devil will make you rip out the stitches with your nose. Anybody heard that? Nobody's heard that in here. 3 different people. Victor Swindell says that he was told that chocolate milk comes from brown cows. I mean, that would make sense, though. That would make sense to a kid. My mother used to say, isn't it amazing how brown cows eat green grass and give white milk under a blue sky. My mother told me this. She said, if you sit too close to the television, your eyes will become square. I would always look, because if it was late at night, I would get down. Who said that? Who said that? Diamond Rio? Okay. A favorite. When I was a comedian, I used to do a thing, and I was like, who said that? Hey, who would even know that? Remember Diamond Rio, right? And so when I was a comedian, I did a thing about parents, and I would always say about how my parents lied to me about certain things. They said, like fooling around with wild women would make your nose grow funny. So I'm glad you remembered that. Thank you. All the stuff I did, but you remembered that one. Yeah, okay, good. I heard this. If you sat on the cement, you could catch a cold. You heard that? Sat right on the cement? Sit on that cold concrete, you're going to catch a cold. And I mean, who hadn't heard this one? This is, if you swallow those seeds, trees are going to grow out of your ears. And sugary foods had little bugs on them. And the bugs like to eat teeth. But if you brush them real good, it'll take those bugs off. Yeah, that sounds good. You know what? I had a dentist. It was my first dentist, I guess like a real dentist, who had an amazing lie, a very effective lie that he told me. And I was a little kid. I couldn't have been, let's see, we lived, I couldn't have been more than like 7. And so I had some cavities. And so, go in the dentist office and I have no idea what's going to happen, right? No idea. It's the first time I'd ever. And so there's this lady there. And I've thought about this so many times because I've thought, this was brilliant. This was just brilliant. The guy blew it. So the dentist comes in and he says, so, all right, let's kind of get started. All right, open real wide. And he kind of leans over and he puts this, arm like over my eyes, and kind of leans on me, and my mouth is open. I can't see anything. And so I feel this like, it kind of hurts in there. And I go, ah. And because, he's giving me the Novocaine. So what he's doing, giving me the shot. And I go, And he said, he gets up and goes, oh, I'm sorry. Did I hit you with my fingernail in there? Did I hit you with my fingernail? And I said, yes, sir. He said, I am so sorry. Would you file this for me? And so the hygienist reached out, had a nail file, and went shh, like that. He said, okay, I don't think it'll hurt this time. Here, let me just look in there again. And he goes, and he goes, is it still sharp? I'm so sorry. You did not do a very good job. Here, file that thing again for me. We don't want to hurt him with my fingernail. And I mean, I was buying it, man. I totally bought it. And I bought it like 3 visits in a row. I mean, I'm just this little idiot, I guess. 3 visits. I had a lot of cavities, evidently. But 3 visits in a row. I totally bought that. And then I guess he thought, hey, he's doing great. He's, good little guy. And so then about the 4th visit, he's walking from that table over here. And I said, what you got behind your back? And he goes, and he pulls that shot out. And I went, and I mean, I came out of the chair. I mean, the hygienist was right there. The bowl's right there. I got somehow in between the reclining part of the chair and the bowl, and I was out of that room and down that hallway and out that office. Now, this was before everybody locked their cars, right? And I was out. My mom saw me like run through the dental office, and I was out, and I was in that car. Boom, 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 and I locked all the doors. And so here comes my mama, and the dentist, and the hygienist, and the receptionist, and a couple of other mamas, and some people out of some other places, and they're all there around the car, and they're going, now, come on out. And my mother, this was my mother though, my mother just kind of starts laughing. She says, Andy, you get out of that car. And she's just laughing. I'm going, I'm not coming out of the car. I mean, I'm not. And so then, you know, like probably he didn't have kids, right? Because the dentist, he's going to reason with me, right? Now, let me explain to you what Novocaine is. And I'm like, dude, you have a shot that looks like you're going to kill a horse with it in your hand. I don't even know what you're talking about. But I ain't letting you in the car. I mean, you think I'm going to let you in the car? I don't even know you. And my mother's getting a little upset about it. And so she says, Andy, you've got to come out. I'm not coming out. And so the dentist's office, hey, Christy, my sister says, the dentist's office was down from the church. That's where my dad was. My dad was a minister. And Christy said that was like her having to get a shot when she was little. So we get, so the church is just like several blocks away from the dentist's office. Now, I didn't know. Mom went back inside. She called my dad. All right? So, now this will tell you what things were like 50-something years ago. All right? My dad walked up to the car. He leaned down, and he said, unlock that door. And I went, yes, sir. I unlocked that daggum door. And I don't really remember what happened after that. But, oh my gosh. But Christy, so that was like you in a shot. You know, Austin was in here a few minutes ago. I'm going to just tell you this. I'm sorry to like waste your time. But Austin was in here a few minutes ago. Austin was like me. And he was like terrified of needles and stuff. But Austin was a lot smarter than me. You know, I was just like some regular little kid, you know, just some little nerd kid. But Austin, we've always said, he's been 40 years old ever since he was 6, you know. And I mean, literally when he was like, I remember 3.5 years old, walking him out of the house one time. I said, hey, buddy, do we need to get a coat for you? It's cold out here. You need a coat? And he said, I don't need a coat, Dad, but thank you for asking. 3.5 years old. That was him. Okay. So now, and I guess he was probably 5 or 6. And there was something going on, maybe during flu season or something. I can't remember, but we had to take him. We're going to have to take him to the hospital, and they're going to have to take blood to test the blood. All right. So Polly and I both have Austin. And so we go in, you know, we were walking into the hospital, and you know, he looks around and he goes, what are we doing here? And I think Mama lied to him, probably, you know, oh, you know, we're visiting. I don't know what she said, but I'm sure it was a lie. And so we sit down in the waiting room area there, and so at some point they say, Austin Andrews. And as he starts this way, I hooked him, and I had him. I mean, I knew he was going to run as soon as he had a clue. So I hooked him. I had him, and I just like carried him, you know, just like luggage back into the back. And he's not saying anything yet, but he's panicky. So we get back there, and I said, "Oh, it's here, buddy. You're just going to sit in my lap while we do this." And so what are we going to do? And so, you know, when they take your blood, they close you in all these little things, like the little armrest closes in. And so I'm holding him, and I put my legs over his legs. All right, so I've got his legs with my legs, and I'm holding his body, and so when the nurse starts to come over with the needle, he sees the needle, and he starts screaming, okay? But he's not just regular screaming. He starts screaming, torture, torture, torture. And I mean, he is like screaming it. I mean, Polly hears it way out in the lobby. So now here comes Polly. And the nurse is laughing now, which just infuriated him. I'm trying not to laugh, and he's going, torture, torture. And so finally, I have one arm around his body, arm around his head like this. Polly has this arm, and the nurse is trying to hold this arm, and my head's right down by his head, and I said, buddy, I love you, buddy, I love you. And he goes, yeah, right. Oh my gosh. That's my dental and doctor stories for the day. Mark Lowry is here. Mark said that your face is going to stick like that. And Mark, yours did. Yours did. So let's see. This one was odd to me too, but I'd heard this when I was a kid. If you keep staring into a mirror long enough, a monkey will pop out. And I did it, but I never saw the monkey. How about if you whistle at night, snakes will hear it and come into your bed? Now you think, so think about this. Why are you going to tell a kid that? Now, you know why. Stop whistling. Okay, it's time to go to bed. Stop whistling. I can hear you in there whistling. You got to stop whistling. How many times did I tell you stop whistling? All right, let me tell you something I didn't want to tell you. I didn't want to tell you this, but you're forcing me to tell you. If you whistle at night, snakes hear it and they come into your bed. There. Now, you made me tell you that. I didn't want to tell you that. How about this one? I'm not really sure where. I mean, I can usually go to the bottom of the pool on these and see where this came from. But the ones that are just like out of nowhere, these are a cousin or an uncle or something. I think a cousin or an uncle said this one. Dragonflies will sew your eyelids shut. You've heard that? Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. And here is the last one. It's very simple. I just think it's just funny because I heard this. Playing with your belly button will make your butt fall off. Martin Simmons said, are we still going to do the Top That videos? You know what? We do. And so I will just say, top what I did, top the story of me going out of the dental chair and locking myself in the car. Top that, Martin. Send us a video. Or if you got something to top that, video yourself. Give us a 90-second video. Send it here. What do we send it to? Andy@andyandrews.com? Yeah, just send it to Andy@andyandrews.com. And we'll choose the best to see if you can top that story. Okay, so is there anything else? I can't remember. You know, I was talking to somebody the other day that came in here that knew my parents. And it's always very odd because my parents passed away when I was 19. And so I think Daddy was 44 and Mama was 42. And so when I see their friends now, and their friends are like 80, I have a hard time getting that. But where'd that come from? Why did I even start talking about that? Why did I even start talking about that?
I'm not sure.
No, but you reminded me of my daddy right there, Matt, because I said, why did I start talking about that? And Matt went, now he's got a microphone in there, all right? And I said, why did I start talking about that? And Matt goes, you know what my daddy would have said?
What's that?
I can't hear your head rattle, son. Talk to me. Nancy Hazler Brown says, trade? Well, Nancy, I would like to present a trade to you. And I actually have good news here. And we're trading up. We started trading up the first of the year from a safety pin. And we hit a bump in the road with the best thing we've had. The best thing we've gotten, right now we have a 100-ounce bar of silver that we are trading. But right as we came on the air, we got a pretty nice trade offer. And so I said, well, we got to, let's just verify this. Let's verify this trade, and we'll make the trade. If everything's good, we'll make the trade, and then we'll tell everybody about it Thursday. So, but I'm kind of thinking this might be something everybody wants. I mean, not everybody wants to buy, or not everybody wants to trade for a 100-ounce bar of silver that will probably double its value, in 6 months. But other stuff. But you just wait till see. Wait to see what we trade about. And who said this? Absolutely awesome episode. Sandra Marabelli said, y'all have absolutely some awesome episodes of topics to talk about. We do. I mean, we ain't even started. We ain't even gone down the list yet of all the things we have to talk about. But we'll be doing it here on the Blue Plate Special, 12:15 Central Time, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Usually, sometimes we miss a day, but usually we all get together. Lunchtime, learning, laughter, have a good time. I appreciate you guys being with us. Appreciate you guys out in the studio today. Glad y'all are here. Thank you so much. And we'll see you Thursday. All right? Bye-bye.